So on today's episode of Otis, we're replacing some headlights. So I bought a couple new headlights and I was going to put them in, and stupidly I did not start recording for the first one. So I got one out, about to take the other one out and then clean up the different pieces because the screws, like everything on Otis, are pretty rusty. So here's the first one I took out, and I took out the housing, which is on the ground. I'm actually going to clean that up and just paint over it with black as well. And then here's the other light that still needs to come out. It's still got that metal housing around it, and I'll show you the other one that I've actually cleaned up already, but I'll go through that process and show you what I've done. All right, this process is pretty straightforward. There's just a few screws. Let's see, there's a couple here. So we're going to take those off to get the housing off. Some of them are pretty rusted in there. These two should be fine, but the ones around the headlight assembly on the other one were pretty stuck there, so it took a little bit of power to get those off. But let's get this one and this one. Okay, and that should come out. That's it. I'll clean that up here in a minute too. All right, so now this one needs to come off, and then there's one that's up in here as well that needs to come off to fully remove this. Let's see how easy. All right, let's turn it a little bit. There we go. The headlights were working. They were just very, very dim going down the streets here. They live kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so there's really no street lamps. So I got to make sure I'm able to see on these roads. All right. Screw that one. Save those for later. And then it's just the 3 wires on the back with the cable. And let's just pull right off. There you go. Headlamp is out. It's pretty rusty on this casing on the back, so that's what I'm going to sand down and just paint over with a rust inhibitor, black paint. And then we'll clean up the little bevel that's around the light and replace the light itself. All right, got the light inside. Now we just need to undo this screw and this screw, and then everything will come apart. And what I'll end up doing is sanding down these screws because they're pretty rusty, and then putting some oil on them to hopefully inhibit additional rust for a little while. And I'm going to clean up this bevel. I already did the other one. It came out great. It's just very dirty. And then these I will sand and paint. And there you are. Dirty bezel. Got all the old hardware that we'll have to reuse. So 4 screws for the bevel to hold this all together, and then these 2 attach it to the actual vehicle. And this should just pop out. And there you go. That's the old headlight. This is the casing for it. Again, we'll sand it, clean it up, and make it look a little bit nicer and try to inhibit future rust growth. When I had to put this on there, I just held it by right here and didn't realize there was actually a crack here, so at some point it broke. So when I just held it on that, it just came right apart. So for the hardware, I just have this wire brush, and I'm going to put some of this 3-in-1 oil on them to begin with, just to try to loosen up any of the rust that needs to be, and then we'll brush them, put the oil back on afterwards, and then when we're ready, put everything back together. All right, well, that needs right now. All right, let's clean that up. All right, so here's the one I already cleaned next to the one that is still dirty. So definitely a big difference on that. And it really is just dirt, I think, so nothing crazy. All right, well, that is it for that. We'll just dry it off and put it aside for right now. All right, back outside. Got a couple sanding blocks. Again, these don't need to be perfect. I'm just trying to get them better than they are. But this is for the back of the headlights. And we'll paint them afterwards. Again, not trying to get them perfect, but doing what we can. First, and then we'll go back through and do it with the fine grit. All right. Get the finer grit just to go over it real quick. I'm actually going to use some Barkeeper's Friend to clean these up and hopefully make them out nice and shiny. Wow, it definitely looks a lot better getting all that junk off from there. All right, these are definitely looking a lot better, a lot cleaner. Obviously still rusted, but we will paint these and hopefully the rust inhibitor paint I'm using will work. Got Krylon enamel black. Right now we're just going to clean off the outer, I guess this is just another bevel, but these plastic pieces, they're just dirty, but everything looks to be intact, nothing broke. All right, here was the old headlights. Pretty old and dirty, dinged up. This is the one that's broke and just falls off. They were Sylvania. What's the other one? Like I said, they were just very dim. This one's got water inside of it. I'm surprised this one doesn't with the crack. But the new lights are also Sylvania. And we got the ones that look the same. I could have went with LEDs, but it looked kind of weird to have one modern thing on the outside of a 1983 vehicle. All right, now we got the new headlights. Look at that, nice and shiny. Not that anyone ever sees the back of these, but do look good. All right, the inside had enough time to dry, so now we're going to go ahead and just paint the outside of these. All right, time to hook it back up. Take off the little prong protector. Get these back on. I think the other ones are on there pretty good. All right, so I have my screws sitting here next to me on the bumper, and they both just fell. Grab one of those, and let's see. Oh, you know what? These are different. This one is for the left headlamp because this and this on the other one are here and here. On this side, it is here and here. So I need to take that back off and redo it. All right, well, that's a good note to self. Headlights housings are different on both sides. There's a little groove in here. You can see it where that slides in. Actually, I'm going to put the other one on right now as well, so I don't have to wiggle around trying to get that. And we'll get both of these started and then go ahead and tighten them down. Okay, got the other headlight in. I got to still test them and make sure the angle is right. It's just a weird fit in there because it still moves, which is weird. Oh, this one's a little bit tighter than the other, so maybe I'll tighten it down. Okay, headlights in there, and then I did put that bevel back in there that I painted black as well. Looks pretty good. So got that one. I didn't go ahead and film that, but got that one in too. So I think we're good to go. Just got to turn the van on and try them out.